This is biology 10. No, I'm sorry, that's something else. I'm sorry. So question number one, how many of you are small business owners? Number two, how many of you would like to be more successful than you currently are? Well, then you've come to the right place. My name is John Krupski. I'm, among other things, one of the people involved in a thing called the Guardian Life Small Business Research Institute. You guys have heard of the Guardian Life Insurance Company, probably. Guardian decided that small business owners are among the most important people in America, so give yourselves a hand. I personally believe you are the once and future hope of America and the American economy. So what we'd like to do is to help you be more successful at what you do. And the way we're going to do that is based on the research that we have conducted over the past few years. We have identified a number of factors. Those factors are things that correlate with small business owners who tend to make more money, have higher profits, and generally grow their businesses a little bit better than the other people. And so what we're going to do is share these 6 factors. And they're not that difficult to figure out, but they are critical because they really do make the difference. What we found is the 200 most successful small business owners out of our sample ended up having these traits, these factors, more so than anybody else. The first one, I'm going to make the list, is self-fulfilled. We'll talk about them in more detail later. The second one is collaborative. I'd like to share a little anecdote about collaborative with you. We did this presentation in webinar form a while back, and one of the questions was, I am not naturally very collaborative. What should I do? The answer to that question is become collaborative. It is one of the success factors. It's not an option. So if you are not naturally collaborative, hire somebody who is, figure out how to be, and we'll talk about that in more detail. Tech savvy. You have to be tech savvy. Now, some of you are already going to be put off by that idea. I'm not technologically savvy. I'm not that clever about technology. So we're going to actually define tech savvy in a way that each and every one of you can be absolutely comfortable with. Next one is future focused. And we're going to talk about that in more detail, but I believe it was Yogi Berra who once said, if you don't know where you're going, any road will get you there. If you're building a business, it's really a good idea to know where you are going, because you can't get to the future until you understand what the future is. The next trait, or the next factor that makes people successful, is curiosity. I have spent a lot of time with small business owners one-on-one and in small groups and in research, so I've probably talked to thousands of small business owners. The ones who are most successful are inherently curious about everything. Some people will tell you that you need to be curious about how to hire people and what to do and how to do the small business thing and where to get your financing. Sure. But the most successful small business owners are people who have a natural curiosity. They want to know, how does it work? How'd you do that? How can I do that? Is there a better way? A natural curiosity. And then we put it at the end, but it's really kind of the primary factor of all, is a tendency to do things. Small business owners, I'm writing a book called The America Code, and I believe that Americans are essentially disenfranchised, diligent optimists. That's what Americans are all about. You don't fit, other people make the rules, you say adios, goodbye, you do something about it, and you believe it's going to work out no matter what. If you've been in business, how many of you have been in business more than a year? Okay, you know you got to stick with it. You know that one day you get up and you say, what the heck am I doing this for? But you believe inherently, because you are fundamentally optimistic, that tomorrow, as Scarlett Katie O'Hara said in Gone with the Wind, is another day. So action-oriented, the willingness to do something, comes from being inherently optimistic. That's the lay of the land. Let's talk about each of these factors individually. I said self-fulfilled. But let's talk about the specific dimensions of self-fulfilled. The definition of the idea of self-fulfilled is placing a high value on personal gratification, on personal fulfillment. We have found that the most successful small business owners do not obsess endlessly about their business. Sounds counterintuitive, doesn't it? But if you spend your whole time focusing on something outside of you, then you're not feeding you. And if you're not feeding you, it isn't going to work. Your business should fulfill you. That's why you do it. You do it because it does something for you, not because you have to keep doing it for it. It's kind of like having children. You have children, the more you give to them, the more you get. But you do have to feel, that's why Mother's Day is all about. How many of you are looking forward to Mother's Day? That's that moment when you get the certificate of you doing a good job. Okay? You are fulfilled. Small business has to do the same thing, except you're the only one that can gratify and fulfill yourself, because everybody else is looking to you. You got people depending on you. So when we talk about this whole dimension, what matters most relative to self-fulfillment? First of all, doing something that I really love to do. The difference between somebody who is employed by other people and a small business owner is small business owners tend to love what they do. If you don't, go work for somebody else. If you do love what you do, then it isn't even really work. One of the things we discovered, by the way, when we did some research about the whole idea of small business and retirement, is small business owners have one plan for retirement. It's the feet first out the door plan. I will be carried out of my business. I'm having too much fun. I'm having too much fun. I know it's hard work. I've been a self-employed person since I was 24, created my own business. And when my wife talks about retirement, I go, what would I be retiring from? People pay me money, tell me I'm a smart guy, and take me to nice places. Yeah, I want to stop doing that. So you need to understand, if you're going to be successful, that you need to enjoy what you're doing. If you're not enjoying what you're doing as a small business owner, stop it. Knock it off. Find something else. Okay, what else? You can do something in a small business that you can't do in anything else. You can decide how much money you make for yourself. The only limit on your income is you. Look in the mirror. I know sometimes you say, oh, well, the truth is that most of America is told how much they can make. You can make your own decisions about that. Be in control of my fate. You actually are. A lot of you, how many of you started out in corporate America? Okay, and what did you do? You got up one day and you said, the bozo I report to is dumber than I am and he's deciding my life. I don't think that should continue. Well, if you stay in a company, it will. You started your own business to be able to do that. Another reason, another thing that matters most is creating something of value. At the end of every day, I have to believe that every one of you, at some point, sometimes you say, what the heck did I do that for? But more often than not, you walk out the door going, I did something good. I've done something useful.